Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, the 11th of July. We're back again. Markets are open. Time to go over our pairs to see what's going on in the week. There's been some big movement going on, which we'll go over in a second. As always, we're going to start on EURGBP. Now, obviously, I had a demand zone marked out here last week, which we were looking to buy from. But as you'll see across the video, the euro just completely collapsed. Well, not completely, but it's tanked quite hard because the USD has been manipulated yet again, and obviously it's the direct opposite correlation of the US dollar. So as you can see, the euro GBP, it tanked right through the demand zone, and we find ourselves back at this big demand zone below here. Now I was looking to buy at that demand zone, but with this big crash through demand, I'm going to wait now and see if we do fall further. I could possibly be looking at this demand zone here, but again, if the euro is going to continue to fall, which I'll go over Euro USD soon, I can't see it doing, you know, a lot more. It possibly could do a little bit more further to drop. So I'll be looking to take a position from possibly from this lower demand zone here, maybe even one at the bottom around here. Move that. I'll be looking to take one possibly down here again if we see these prices down here. So with Euro GBP, we're going to wait on this one now. I'm glad I took profits on that runner the week before last. So yeah, we're going to wait and see now on Euro GBP for the next one, because obviously the pound will play a factor in that too. So with that, we'll move to GBPJPY, and we are continuing to just move in this squeeze triangle here. I did have that buy set up on, but it moved too quickly and I missed it, and it shot straight back up. So GBPJPY, we're going to wait to see if we get a breakout of this triangle, and then we'll trade the direction. If we do start to move down, we can get a nice buy on these demand zone here to continue pushing further north, but it'll all depend on risk on and risk off markets or not to see what medium or long term direction we're going to go on GBP next. So yeah, unfortunately a waiting game for GJ for a breakout of this triangle. So with that, we'll move to EURAUD. I got stopped out on this position unfortunately, but it was only I moved my stop loss to entry, so I didn't lose anything. Hopefully you did too, because obviously that's the case. As soon as we hit 1-to-1, we had over 2-to-1 on this trade, you definitely get your stop loss to break even, so you don't lose anything and give back to the markets. As you can see, as I was saying about the euro, it just completely tanked right through demand, so that's broken. Yeah, so again, it's a waiting game now to see whether it holds at these positions or moves further below. So unfortunately, EURAUD, we're going to have to wait again for another setup to form on that one. So there's not much I can give out this week really. It's a bit of a waiting game. So with that, we'll move to GBPUSD. Again, last week I was looking at buying at this demand zone here. It's been broken. We've tanked straight through. Again, the dollar was pumped pretty hard, and we have tanked right through. You could possibly look for sells from here, but again, I think we're just selling the bottom here if you do look to get in on the sells, and it could turn on us. So it's not my favourable position, but as I wanted to show, we're not actually that far away from a demand zone that hasn't been touched since 1985, which is down there at 1.072, which is what, 500 pips away. So it's a bit of a tough one on GU now. You're just trying to pick a bottom. which is obviously very tough because you don't know when it's going to happen. I think the best case now is to wait for a breakout of this trend, and obviously see the DXY fall in strength and start going in a little bear run. Then we know it's going to correlate, and then we can get in on a buy trade. But for now, if you're doing a bit of scalping, then you could possibly get a sell-off from the supply zone, or there's a little supply zone here. But yeah, unfortunately, it's a bit of a waiting game for this pair as well, GBPUSD. So not much really to go on this week. So with that, we'll move to EURUSD, and it's pretty much the same picture. We've broken close through that monthly demand zone that we were sitting in. I thought we might have got the nice push up and completed this sort of W formation, but it wasn't the case, and we have dropped through below. So it's pretty much looking like we're going to be moving down to this demand zone here, which again is 20 years old, from 2002. As I say, the dollar has just been heavily manipulated. It's so overbought. Inflation's kicking in. The economy, everyone says, is going to be a collapse soon, but we're still yet to see anything of the sort. So we can only go off what we see, and as we see, it's pushing USD right down. So I can only assume that we're going to visit this demand zone here from 20 years ago, and then that would be my place to take a buy from, because you know we've got to be expecting some sort of upturn in the medium term at least. So again, another pair which is a waiting game, which is EURUSD. So with that, we'll move to gold, and we are in an area of interest. I've been waiting a while for this to come down to this monthly demand zone where we've picked trades from previously. I think that one, and we took that one all the way up there. I was looking for a sell after it touched these supply zones, but it didn't reach back there, and we've tanked right through. But we're in a very interesting area of where we can take a position on this pair of gold. So again, I'd like to see a little bit more down movement, possibly meet this trend line here, and then see some support forms similar to what we've got here around this area, a little bit deeper in gold in that monthly demand zone. We might even move further down into it, but that's where I'll be taking a buy from. So this is one to watch over the next day, over this week, possibly next week, and then we can get a longer term buy on gold. So I'm looking to be buying around 1700 if possible, if we can get down to that area, and then we're looking to hold again for another move upwards. So that's been broken. That can go, that can go, that can go. Yeah, so we're looking at this big demand zone here. Yeah, so that's what to look out for on gold. A little bit more down movement, get a buy on in this monthly demand zone as we've done previously, and made some good profit from. So with that one, we'll move to Bitcoin, and it's still holding around this zone. I've marked out a little channel here which we seem to be moving in. I said last week I was going to watch to see what happened over the next few days, and it just went on a little very small push upwards. So I didn't catch that one, unfortunately, but I will be waiting again to see if it comes down to this area, and if it comes down to this area and makes a higher low, a higher low here, then I will take a little buy on and try and get up to the top of this channel for a risk to reward of 4.5, similar depending on your stop loss, which is not a bad intraday trade on Bitcoin. And if it does start breaking out, then we can hold it, can't we, and get some more pips, but we'll have to see what happens on that one. So so that's it for this week, everybody. Unfortunately, there's not much to go over. Stop loss on EURAUD. The setups that I posted last week have all been invalidated because prices tanked right through. So again, unfortunately, it's another waiting game, but gold is a nice setup to form there, and obviously Bitcoin, if we can push a little bit further down and make a higher low, we can get a nice buy on this one here up to the top of this little channel as a little small scalping intraday trade. So so yeah, so with that, I'll see you again next week, everybody. Cheers, take care.